Sunday, May 16th, 2021. About Sunday evening here. It's quiet. Yesterday, I spent most of my day going through the Network Plus, Professor Messer Network Plus study videos. I went through Section 1, spent most of the afternoon doing that. Today, I went through Section 2. I might do Section 3 tonight. That's pretty short. Usually, what I try to do is I go through the videos and I'll break them down on how many videos are in Section 1, how many videos are in Section 2, and so on. And then I try to add up the times and break them down within hours on how many hours per section, and then I know what I can get done through that. I try not to go through too much at once, and I break it down from there. Tonight, Section 3, I think, is only about an hour and a half, so I might go through that, or tomorrow after work. The bad thing about work is I'm there all day, and when you get home, stuff like that, before you know it, it's time to go to bed. So it's a pretty long week, but I'm trying to get through all this stuff and go through that. On LinkedIn, I see a lot of people now are getting their certifications, their first certifications they're getting. A lot of the Network Plus, a lot of the Security Plus, and a lot of the A Plus. Some are getting the CISA ones and stuff like that, and I try to connect with a lot of people that are on there. That's definitely the way to go with technology people, especially if you're first starting out and getting into this. A lot of people talk about, well, how do I get this certification? How do I get that certification? How do I get into that? And I'm starting to see a lot of certifications about universities and how to get this and how to get that. And today somebody posted about something about the cost of all these universities and these boot camps and stuff like that, and what it costs for that and what you get out of it. And a lot of them are saying that, I guess it's what you get out of it. It's each individual thing. But these guys are talking about what it costs, and a lot of it's, I think, on average, I think it's about 12 to 24 weeks that you go through a course and go from there. And then automatically you're certified. I've seen courses where you have to pay for the certification, where you can take the course for free, and it's the same thing. It's about 12 weeks, 24 weeks. One of the sites, I think it starts in August or something like that, but it's in Australia or something like that, and you have to start it at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So a lot of you got to do your research and go through a lot of that stuff. Um, what I use is I use a study guide. I use Professor Messer's videos. I use his notes. And there's another guy, Mike Myers, who I have his A plus book. But I'm focused right now on the Network Plus. I want to get into the servers, the data centers. And somebody on LinkedIn had told me, well, if that's I was going to go with Security Plus next after the Network Plus, because the new Security Plus starts after July. Well, it's out there now, but the 501 expires in July, and the new one is out there now. So the old one's going to expire soon. The Network Plus, the current one now, that expired in March. So it won't be long before the new Network Plus will be coming out for that. Probably not till maybe next year or something like that. I think they usually go 6 months or so after the one expires. So it may expire this year. They may just run it out to January and then start the new one for that. I'd like to get this one done by July. This way I'd have a few months under my belt with Network Plus and see how get the experience of getting the certification and stuff like that. I also see where people have failed the first time, and they go back with that and stuff. But back to the Network Plus one, I was going to get the Security Plus next, and somebody suggested that, and I looked into it and I found a course on YouTube about the CCNA. Now, the Network Plus is wide open with networking and stuff like that. It's not it's vendor neutral. And let me see if I can vendor neutral. And the CCNA is vendor specific for Cisco switches and routers and stuff like that. So it's specific for that. And somebody has suggested that I go that route. So I found a course on YouTube, 84 videos for the CCNA and stuff like that. So I might go that route and see what that is. Because what they told me is, since I want to get into data centers and stuff like that and be around servers and that kind of stuff, the cabling and all that kind of stuff, be around that kind of stuff, that's the best route to go. And they said, if you want to throw in your Security Plus, you can do that too. That's always a good thing. but they recommended, and somebody else followed up and recommended too, that once you get your Network Plus, it's a good start. But next, get the CCNA, and then go from there. So I think I'm going to go that route. Uh, but the great thing about LinkedIn is you connect with a lot of people on there, a lot of people that are in the industry that are getting their first certifications, getting their third certifications. A lot of discussion too about all these people getting all these certifications. Some people have said that they inflate their profiles and stuff like that, and that may be true too. You just got to be careful about what to do and what to get and what specifically you're looking for. Somebody else recommended that once I get the Network Plus to go into Amazon, AWS, and Azure and look into that. So I might look into that, but I get a lot of good feedback and stuff. And again, it's up to me on what I think I can handle and what I can do and stuff like that. During the week, it's kind of tough with work because I'm there all day, and by the time I get home, I might be able to try to throw a couple hours. I try to do some research when I get home and try to get some preparedness and stuff like that for the weekend. I usually try to shoot for the weekend and get all my study done for the Network Plus, shooting for July. The thing with that is it's pass fail. Um, the CCNA stuff, I started looking into that. Also, I found a thing on YouTube today. I was looking through stuff, and I found a site on there for they're over in the UK, and the one video I watched today was them putting in they're working on actual racks servers in a server room. They put in a switch and they put in the tracking and stuff like that. They hooked up the cables and stuff like that, and they do a lot of that on that channel and stuff. And while it's not hands-on experience, at least it gives me a visual of how this stuff is done, and it gets me a look into that world. Also, the thing with being on LinkedIn and stuff like that, and talking to people and commenting to people and stuff like that, and interacting with everybody that's in this field is you never know who you're going to come across. Somebody might come across and say, I work in a data center or I run a data center here and stuff like that. I can bring you in, give you a tour and stuff, and go from there. And you never know who you're going to connect. The thing with LinkedIn is it's a big difference from Facebook. It's more professional and it's more towards what you want to get into, whatever field you're in, not just cybersecurity, not just technology and stuff like that. But for me, that's the big one on there, and go from there. The simple stuff with a lot of it used to be before where a lot of people wanted to get the A plus, and I may still get that in the future. It depends on what the A plus is. The thing with the A plus is it's desktop stuff and it's troubleshooting. And the great thing about that is if you have no experience or anything like that, or a lot of it I've learned on my own, just YouTube videos and reading for the last couple of years and books and just actually doing stuff. And if I didn't understand something, if something happened to my computer right away, I'd Google it and I'd go from there and figure out a lot of that stuff. A lot of that stuff is simple stuff. The thing I try to tell people is, learn your own computer and stuff like that, and learn your own troubleshooting and stuff like that. Learn what the device manager is, and learn, different things on task manager, and learn how to remove stuff and stuff like that, and learn where control panel is, and learn how to do that kind of stuff, and just go from there. And you'd be amazed on how quickly you can learn how to do simple things on a computer and stuff like that. Because basically, that's what you're going to be doing a little more advanced and stuff like that when you're going to be at customer service and stuff like that when people call up. And a lot of it is just simple stuff that they don't know. That I've learned on my own and stuff like that, but I'm not certified in that kind of thing. With doing that kind of stuff, I can figure it out, and I've done a lot of that stuff. And most of the time, it's the same problems and stuff. And I don't know if I mentioned in an earlier video. I've mentioned it a lot of times where about a year ago, last year or something like that, and I've done it before. Before I moved to where I'm at now, um, a woman's computer didn't boot up or anything like that, and she was going to pay. There was a shop that was nearby. They charge $100. It says right on the site. You go on the site, they charge $99.99 if your computer don't boot up or this and this to remove viruses and stuff like that. They charge us. That's pretty pricey. Granted, it's a business and stuff, but these little things you learn how to do, you can do it on your own and save you $100. I saved her $100. And she was pretty happy about that. Now, I don't know. I've never seen her again before, but I don't know if she had the same problem. But who knows? That may have worked. I've worked on, you know, just simple things and stuff like that. And it's a big difference from working on somebody's laptop, doing simple things like that, to working in a data center. And I get that, but you learn with these simple things, and you can learn to save yourself some money. And it's always the joke around Christmas time where all, you're getting technology and stuff. And if you work in the IT field, all the relatives come over and they start asking you, well, how do you set this up? How do you set that up? How do you set this up? And it all starts with the basics. When you get a brand new computer and stuff like that, you get a brand new phone and stuff. People don't utilize the most out of their devices. Um, they start running into problems and things start slowing down. There's a lot of junkware on it. We know that when you get a brand new computer, we need to start doing updates and stuff and doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, learn Task Manager, learn the Device Manager, learn Control Panel. Learn these are simple, basic things, but they are important. How to defrag your hard drive, how to clean your hard drive, how to do this, how to do that, how to do the simple stuff, and it may prepare you for the A+ exam and stuff like that, and save yourself some money and do simple things. That's what I do, and I'll try to talk about that a lot more in later videos and stuff like that. Try to help people. If you have a problem with doing this, a lot of people don't want to Google nothing, or you got to be careful when you go on YouTube or when you're doing Google searches and stuff like that. You see in the comments and stuff and what people post and stuff, and then you see somebody follow up saying, no, don't tell them to do that, and don't do that, don't ever do that to your computer and stuff like that. So you kind of got to be careful with that kind of thing too. And that's kind of a low blow to people, especially when they don't know. They're reaching out to people, but that's the world we are living in. And that's how it is. That's why you got to train yourself. That's why you got to educate yourself to do that kind of thing and learn these simple things. But if you're just starting out and you want to get into IT, it seems a lot of people want to get into IT and a lot of people want to get into cybersecurity, but they say it's so tough to get into it. And I see people posting on LinkedIn about they show these jobs where um, they want 5 years experience or 10 years experience to do just entry kind of, and these are people that are in the field and they're pretty pissed off about that, how tough they make it to get into these jobs. And with the current Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack, and with the SolarWinds attack, and with all these breaches going on and stuff like that, the Colonial Pipeline thing. Somebody posted that today about he posted something where they waited months. I think he had like 60 something applications or something like that, and they waited months. And they said they couldn't find anybody. They couldn't find anybody. This guy apparently has, he said he has a bunch of connections. They call it connections on LinkedIn and stuff like that. He said he got about 100 people that qualified to do that job. They said, what are they waiting for? Why aren't they hiring people to do this work and get into this and stop this kind of stuff? And it's the truth. A lot of people are coming out of universities and they may not have the experience or stuff like that. I always like to try to tell people in the past I used to be an over the road truck driver, and when I was going to truck driving school, they give you they give you hands-on experience and stuff like that, and they get you right into a truck and they help you get your CDL. And then once you graduate, they call graduation. Once you get your CDL, they take you to whatever state you're in. They take it to the state capital, wherever you need to take the state test to get your CDL. They take you there in one of their trucks, and you take your test to get your CDL. They have to get your CDL. And a lot of times they've got big trucking companies. Some of the biggest trucking companies out there are waiting at the school, and they get you right into a trucking company. And then the trucking company themselves, they'll put you through their own training. Then you'll go out on the road with a trainer, and you'll be driving, an over-the-road truck. Two different big industries, but equally as important, I think. Trucking industry is a big industry, and we're looking to automate them now. Self-driving trucks and stuff like that. That's all technology. And I've mentioned that about doing the same thing for technology to train people and do that kind of thing. And it's always the same thing where it's time and it's cost. Some of the big companies can do it, but not everybody can do it. China's doing it, Japan's doing it, Korea's doing it, Russia's doing it. All these countries are doing it. They're putting their people through training. They're doing their own boot camps and stuff like that. They're trying to create a nation of hackers. That's all China does is they're building an army of hackers. Russia's doing it, North Korea's doing it, Israel's doing it, Japan's doing it. All these countries are doing it. And the U.S. is just, like I mentioned earlier, with these universities and stuff like that, with these boot camps and stuff like that. And it's not just cybersecurity or IT. You hear the stuff where people are going into universities for anything they want to go into, any kind of field they're going into, and they got these professors that say you need to buy my book. So they buy the book for $45 or $55, and you find out that they never even opened the book. So now these students are stuck with a book, and they say, "What's a good reference model?" That pisses a lot of students off because no, it's not a good reference model. If it was a good reference model, we'd be using the majority of that book in the class. And if you got a class of 35 people, you just sold 35 books, and it's a scam that a lot of these people say. I mean, it's common knowledge that they do that. What are you going to do, right? But like I said, if you're just getting into it and stuff like that, be careful on the comments that you see on YouTube. And like I said, learn Task Manager, learn Device Manager, learn Control Panel on how to do simple things and stuff like that. The thing with Device Manager is when you right-click the Windows icon in the lower left, thing will come up and you'll see Device Manager. You click on that. And now don't be clicking on anything in that. Be real careful with that stuff. I mention that because just get familiar with what's there. Sometimes you'll see like a yellow question mark next to stuff, and it's all where all the drivers are, basically where all the software is, and all your drivers, they call it. And sometimes a simple fix like that, sometimes you can disable something in there and then re-enable it, or sometimes you can remove it, reboot the computer, and then it'll reinstall an updated version or something like that, and it'll simple fix thing, everything like that. The thing with that is be careful when you do the touchpad. Make sure you're using a separate mouse, because if you disable the touchpad, then you're kind of messed up. So be real careful with clicking on stuff. Just I mentioned it because it's simple troubleshooting stuff, and you just go through these things. You just get real familiar with it, and go from there and learn to do it yourself, basically, and try to save yourself some money and time. And if you are trying, like I said, if you are trying to get into the field, A plus stuff and everything like that, this will help you. You'll be familiar with this kind of stuff. The A plus is a lot more involved with CPUs and motherboards and that kind of stuff. And there is a guy that does Apple stuff and everything on YouTube. He does actual repairs where he does, but he looks at schematics. He looks at electrical schematics, and he has testers, electrical testers that he goes in and tests. Takes the computers apart and tests the motherboards, and he tests this. He tests the voltages for that if that's something you want to get into. But that he runs his own business in New York doing that kind of stuff. If that's something you want to get into, I could post his. But he's gotten too political now. I don't go on there much anymore. He's gotten this thing. He's against Apple. Do it yourself. Where you in order to, if anything happens to your Apple product or something like that, you have to take it to an authorized Apple dealer or something like that to get the stuff fixed, because you can't take them apart anymore and you can't fix it yourself anymore. So I don't know how they do it. Um, I guess they just heat it up, melt the glue inside, and take it apart or something. I don't know. I've never owned an Apple computer, but you can learn operating systems and stuff. It just depends on what you want to get into and stuff like that. But everything is technology anymore. Everything's going into that POS systems and automation and stuff like that. Drones and robotics and that kind of stuff. For me, the Network Plus and the CCNA is for me. I want to be around the servers. I want to get into the data centers. I want to work around that kind of stuff and do that kind of thing. So that's what it is for me. So try to share my videos. Like I said, it's all still a work in progress and stuff like that. I don't have a lot of time to get on here and do videos. I know, you got to post a lot of videos to get subscribers and stuff like that. And anybody that I say it in all my videos that I try to learn from other people. So if you know of sites or something like that, let's share some information. If you're just starting out, what do you use to study? Or if you just got your first certification, or maybe you got 3 certifications, they call it the trifecta. Maybe you got the CompTIA A Plus, Security Plus, and Network Plus. There's also a CompTIA server um, certification or something like that. I've never seen anybody get it. I just came across that the other day. I was, searching around and stuff, and I came across that. I didn't even know they had one. So I don't know how that is going. Like I said, I'm focused on the Network Plus and stuff like that. But yeah, let's try to get people into the IT world, and let's try to help each other out, and you know go from there. If you could, I'd like everybody if they could subscribe and stuff like that, and I'll talk more about if you have questions and stuff like that and everything, and try to do the best I can to get back to you, and this way you don't have to do your research, and I won't steer you wrong. If I don't know it, something like that, I'll let you know. And I'll do the research or something like that, and I'll put a link in the comments and stuff like that, and you can go for it in there and base your own where and getting into the IT world for A plus or CompTIA or anything else you want to do. Maybe you want to go through Amazon Web Services, or maybe you want to get into malware analysis, or maybe you want to get into just the fundamentals and stuff like that. CompTIA has a fundamental IT certification, stuff like that. You can go from. I mean, the world is endless in the cybersecurity world. But the one, when you do watch my videos and stuff, thank you for watching. And I'll try to make them less as long and stuff like that. I try to get everything in as quickly as possible because I got so much going on. I try to get everything into a weekend and stuff like that. But I do want to get videos on and try to build an audience and stuff like that, and try to learn from everybody. So again, thanks for watching, and if you could subscribe, and that would be great as well. Thanks.